Hello, IceCap fans. For IceCaps 360, St. John's play-by-play broadcaster Brian Rogers with head coach Keith McCambridge. And Keith, so far on this 8-game homestand, the hockey club's 3-2, but coming off a very emotional victory over the Toronto Marlies on Saturday night. I know you weren't pleased with the Friday night performance outside of a bit of a pushback in the third, but Saturday, the fans got their money's worth.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good game. It was probably our most physical game to date, Raj. I thought, we finished a lot of checks. Played with an edge, were able to wear them down from that, and at the end of the day, able to get the results that we wanted. The night before, it's tough to chase a game when you're down like that quickly. They get one on the power play. So that's tough. All of a sudden, we have the makeup of a team that the work ethic is always there. So when you get down quickly like that, you're chasing the game and they're trying to do too much and unable to get the game back where we wanted to be in that third period. But the game the next night, I thought not the start we wanted, but it wasn't from lack of intensity or carried. It was the opposite, where we tried to do too much and over back checked in one area of the ice there that gave them the 2-on-1. But able to get ourselves back into the game, physical, played with an edge, and the finer points of our game, the execution was at the level that we needed to be at, which wasn't there the previous night. So a real strong series against a big team in the Toronto Marlies.
Yeah, they're huge, no question about that. But I know the fans here were really energized, especially when Blair dropped his gloves after they scored 23 seconds in. You can almost see, like in that decision against a bigger guy, that he, stepped up for his team and got the guys energized on the bench. And then everybody kind of jumped in. There were 4 fights in the first period alone. Yeah,
Blair's been he's been good for us. He's been he's been a guy that forces turnovers on the forecheck. There's an offensive side to him too that you're seeing start to come out a little bit, playing a good two-dimensional game. So it was good recognition by Blair on where the game is and where momentum needs to get to, and doing a real good job in the role that he plays, which is a tough role for this team.
Yeah. Keith, you were up 4-2, and then a bit of a call that may or may not, went in the books as a good one, but they did score, and then they got the one that Eddie, I'm sure, would like to have back. But Eddie really redeemed himself in the shootout, in particular the poke check on Big Peter Holland, who was very dominant in that 2-game series.
Yeah, I thought, Eddie made some big saves for us during that game, during that series. He's a competitor, so I know he would like to have that goal back, but focused and got himself back where it needs to be for the shootout, and was excellent in it. Holland is a really good shooter, good awareness of where the puck is on the ice, where he can have a chance to take that option away from, and got us the win.
Yeah, and then when he left, he got recalled to the big club, which was probably good news for the American Hockey League. Let's talk about UC Oklahoma now. Came in as a rookie. He's been reassigned to the Ontario Reign of the ECHL, and now Michael Hutchinson is back in St. John's. Your thoughts on the swap with the two clubs?
Well, first part being UC, a young prospect in the organization, and still being a prospect that we feel strongly about, that has to find a way to get his game to a level that he has a chance to assess it. We have a chance to see exactly what we have. When you transition over, especially college goaltenders, it seems to take a little bit of time for them to get their game underneath them, from the pace of practice, having the opportunity to speak to UC at length during the season on where his game is. That was a weakness of his. He was trying to make sure he's able to be good in practice and adjust to the pace of the pro practices. So there was a point there where he was really trying to find himself, really trying to find his game. Wasn't as sharp in practice as he needed to be. And in the games that he did play, he found ways to win. He's a focused goaltender, and he's able to get some wins that he needed for himself for confidence. His teammates needed to see that he had the ability to do it, and the coaching staff the same thing. But at the end of the day, there's only 2 positions, and this league is about, a big part of it is about developing also. So he needs to develop, Raj, at the right stages, and the right stages for UC at this time in his career would be the ECHL. That's not to say he's not going to be a really good American Hockey League goaltender or an NHL goaltender. It was just a matter of getting himself at that base in the ECHL, and and playing games. So that's where he sits now. And we'll keep real close tabs on him down there, make sure that he's doing well and having success. But that transaction happened there, and UC was real positive about it. And now Michael Hutchinson comes in here, has played outstanding in the ECHL. We saw him for that short stint before Christmas. Now he comes in here based on the depth again that we added in the summertime with regards to adding himself and UC, and gets an opportunity here in the American League.
Yeah, but he and Eddie have got a pretty good relationship. They've known each other for a while, and I think that Michael understands that Eddie pretty well is your stud and your number one guy, but he seems like a really good teammate. Let's just talk a little bit about the back end. I know you've had Zach recalled to Winnipeg, and Julian Melchiori isn't 100% yet, but the depth of having at least 6 or 7 guys around is now going to pay a little fruition, and I thought the guys did a heck of a job on Saturday in particular. Cody Lampo stepped in, been a good teammate, and finally played, and he dropped his gloves and adds a spark to your team.
Yeah, I thought Cody was real strong for us. We had large numbers, as you always seem to have on the back end for a period of time, but you just know that eventually call-ups are going to happen and injuries are going to happen in Winnipeg, and the same with ourselves. So now we're at 6. And defensemen that do sit out like that, and forwards for that matter, it's the focus of being a good professional and making sure in practice that that you're ready to go, making sure that you're pushing the envelope and waiting for your opportunity when they arise. And I thought Cody Lampo was really strong in his mindset of coming to work every single day and earned his opportunity from there, and has responded well. It's obvious that he stayed ready in practice, and we finally got a chance to put him in these games against Toronto. He was real good for us. So we sit at 6 now. Julian Melchiori's injured in week to week, so he won't play in this Manchester set. So the depth has been thinned out back there. We will add Cody Soul up here from the Ontario Reign to get our numbers to numbers that you need to have in case injuries continue to take place. But at 6 and look to add 7 with Cody Soul back there.
Okay, Keith, the last one here. The Monarchs coming in ready to play Friday, Saturday, then Monday. Is this the biggest series of the season so far? I just think where you're chasing them down and you've had success. You're 3-2 against them so far in 5, and Martin Jones has been recalled by the LA Kings, which is probably a good thing because he's been outstanding, but they're still a very formidable hockey club. What's your team's mindset going into these 3 games?
Well, very good team in Manchester. We've had some good games against them, played them well in their building. Same here, not bad in respects to those games. So they're a divisional opponent. They are a team that has a real speed and explosiveness to their game, so they're in the upper echelon of the league for a reason. They're a dangerous club, so we're well aware of that, having played them, and we'll talk about that again in our meetings here. Are these the biggest games of the season? Every game for us, Raj, is an important game, making sure that we realize this back half of the season, the pace of the American League always picks up, and making sure that we're right along with it. So we're making sure that every game that's being played, that our execution, our compete, and the chance to win hockey games is at the level that we want it to be. So to pinpoint that this is the biggest series for us, these are important games, but for me, it's always making sure that that the game is in place, the focal point of what we're trying to accomplish every single night, and making sure that the consistency throughout our lineup top to bottom is at the level that we want it to be at here. So we'll know that Manchester's a dangerous team, and we'll make sure that every single guy to a man is bringing his top game here for this series.
Thank you so much to head coach Keith McCambridge for answering the questions that IceCap fans want to know about as the Monarchs and IceCaps get set to battle Friday, Saturday, and Monday here at Mile 1. Have a great day, everyone, and for IceCaps head coach Keith McCambridge, I'm Brian Rogers for IceCaps 360.